One thing. What's it about? It's about you.
Well, the left says it's free. Take yours away. They run up the bills. We gotta pay. But jobs are coming back. We're picking up steam. God and families, the American dream on the Trump train. Get on board the Trump train. We need more on the Trump train. Headed your way on the Trump train. God bless the USA. We're too far gone forever, looking back. Yeah, we pray to God we never run out of train. Yeah. On the Trump train, get on board the Trump train. We need for more on the Trump train. Headed your way, Trump train. God bless the USA. Get on board the Trump train. We need for more on the Trump train. Headed your way on the Trump train. God bless the USA. Yeah, it's headed your way.
We are making America strong again. We are making America safe again. And we are making America great again. Thank you. I gotta say, Thumper, you read my mind, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted him to close my show for me with that. Thank you, Thumper. It did line up perfectly.
Well, Indy just set it up so perfectly that
He sure did. That's what made me think of it. I was like, you've got it. I was going to message you. I really appreciate it. And Derek, thanks for joining me this evening. I appreciate that. Standing in for Sunny. She took the weekend off. So everybody, join us again tomorrow, 2 to 4. I'm going to turn it over to Hyperdrive with Thumper, and we will see you on the flip. Great job. Thanks, buddy.
You betcha. Hey, good show tonight, too. And by the way, you know, I noticed that you were having some of the same issues everybody on the channel has had today. And that is just this weirdness in how the, I had audio weirdness and stuff going on. It was just, it's Halloween. Just, rack it up to Halloween. Because
my favorite night, though.
It's just weird today on the channel, though. I mean, everybody's having little click issues and stuff not working right and everything. So it better get out of the way because we're getting ready to rock on some pretty awesome stuff here on Hyperdrive. So with that said, good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing? It is Halloween, yes, it is. And as long as nobody comes knocking at the door, I will be here for the next 2 hours along with Paul Revere, and we have Vector will be joining us again tonight. And we're going to be doing some more really cool stuff. So don't go anywhere. And as a matter of fact, get your backpack, with all your favorite, if you got a cheese sandwich or whatever, if you are going to bring pets along, make sure they have a leash or they are contained in a space approved animal carrier. And so with that said, everybody please board the TR-3B. We will be taking off momentarily. I'm the pilot of the ship here. My name is Thumper. My second in command is Paul Revere, and Vector will be navigating tonight, I understand. So if you would please take your seats, make sure your seat backs and chairs are and your tables are in the upright position, all your gear secured and in the appropriate places, and we will get this thing going. So Time to kick the tires, light the fires. And here we go. Buckle up, Buttercup. 40,000 light years coming up. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And we have arrived. We're sitting out there at that 40,000 light year position. And how do you like the view tonight? You've got a little better view of the blue moon, possibly. It is a blue moon, which doesn't happen very often. It's also called the hunter's moon. I have a friend of mine that, I finally realized why he went hunting tonight. Because it's the hunter's moon, and because it was his first opportunity to get out and do some hunting anyway. So good evening. It's great to see everybody out there in the chat. I see Spared Francis. Good evening to you. Turtle Dove, how you doing? Great to see you. Legacy of QAnon. Deborah W over there in D Live. Good to see you. And then we've got a few folks over here. Our official navigator is Danusha K. She's out there in the chat. Good evening to you there, Danusha. Tina Non, Angela Krause, Ron Park, Cowgirl Cat. How you doing? And let's see, Kimi. All right. Well, it's so nice to see everybody out here tonight. So anyway, we've got a very interesting lineup of things, it looks like. So I am going to, Paul, Good evening. How are you tonight?
Doing great. How are you, sir?
I'm having a ball today. Spent the day sucking up dog hair with the vacuum cleaner.
That doesn't sound like a ball.
Oh well, the sense of accomplishment at the end is what you go for,
Yeah.
Oh man. So you had some weird stuff going on today, huh?
No, just at the very end, just before the show, my cord died, so it won't charge my battery anymore.
Oh, you mean you don't have a spare cord?
No, I do not. I'm on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. But tomorrow morning I'll go get another one, or maybe two.
Hunting for yeah. Always have a spare. And I noticed that we have Vector is logged in here with us tonight. Good evening, Vector. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you all? Welcome to the show, I guess, to everyone listening in. I'm speaking to you from Australia, and it's a beautiful day right now to be here with you. So I guess good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, or I guess in the universe, whatever star date it is at this point at 40,000 feet galactically.
Well, it's actually, we're at 40,000 light years. When we're doing a land-based show, I'm at 40,000 feet, but for hyperdrive, we get out there at 40,000 light years because we get a really good view of things.
And it's so fast due to the fifth dimensional thought that we've got going on here in the quantum entanglement. It's lightning speed.
Absolutely. Oh man. So we had a great show. By the way, that show got uploaded onto our YouTube channel. So if anybody was here or missed the Wednesday evening, Thursday morning show, you can go to my YouTube channel. That's Smoke Clear on YouTube. You just go in there and find the Smoke Clear channel, and that's my channel. And you can take a look at our show that we did Wednesday night into Thursday morning. And that was the first show that Vector did with us, and it was really interesting. I'll let you know, though, since it's been uploaded, it's had 200 views, which, for my shows on my channel, that is a very, very good response to the show. So it's working out to be a very successful show. In
like 48 hours or something like that, right, Thumper?
Yeah, well, actually, it was at 150 within 24 hours. The first 24 hours, if I can get 150 views in the first 24 hours, that's pretty darn good.
And then there's all the people that will forward it on, and they will share it because it's something that probably hasn't been talked about, and it ties in what a lot of people are trying to do with Gematria and this decoding system and trying to just make sense of all of these codes, and people wonder what on earth is going on. So this is why it's going to be important. I think that's going to become something much more important going forward, because people are going to start to realize all the connections. It's complicated. I mean, you have to start somewhere, don't you, really?
Oh, yeah. By the way, are you guys familiar with the Q posts that came in this afternoon?
Yes.
Any thoughts on those?
I liked them. I didn't really I didn't get any good decodes out of them that were just standing out to me, except for the last one had some real interesting time codes with 5s.
Yeah. What about the time code on the very first one? The 4944. Here, let me put it up on the screen here. Because there was a time code there that I thought was kind of interesting. Look at what time it came in.
1744 and 4. So you have 17, add the 4 and 4 is 8, but 4 and 4 is also Barack Obama, the 45th president of the United States. And then you're adding 4, 4, and 4. You have triple 4 there. Add those together, you get 12. 2 and 1 is 3. So you have 17 and 3. In this case, you would add the 7 and the 3. It reveals 11. So that's what I would automatically do. And I can precisely present this line by line in a mathematical way for people that need that.
Well, actually,
and 4947 is 911. You got 9, 10, and 1 is 11.
That's right. And then they're trying to express this constantly. They're sending messages, they're sending warnings, they're trying to express pi, often depending on what's going on. And
yeah, like I've personally seen 911 50 times in the last 100 posts. You know, and you got the number 1311, right? And you got the number back on the one you just read was 1311 too.
Correct. And then you go to 4945 and you see 174648. Add the 46, you get another 1 there because 4 and 6 is 10, 0 is a placeholder, 1. So you get 17, 1, you're 7, 11, and then 4 and 8 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3. Again, you know, when you add the 3 and the 7, it gives you another 1, and it gives you 1, 1, 1. Now, I normally leave 11s or split 2s, but I definitely add 3s and 7s from the perspective that they give 1. That's just my personal take on that.
so explain, okay, because you know, I've got that article and I did finish reading through it after over the last couple of days since we had the other show, but I want to go back and I want to go back into that article because a lot of what you just were saying there is kind of sort of starting to make some sense to me. Now, I know there are a lot of people out there in the chat that are going, blah, 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 what did he say? You know? And one of the things that kind of caught my eye in that time code on 4944, and it was something that you brought up, you saw the the Trump train video, right? That I played right at the beginning of the show. And the number on the engine is 844. All right. On one of the engines, and the other engine, I was wondering about that one. But if you look at the number plate at on the front of the other engine that is in that video, I'm gonna forward it to a point.
And,
see the
Thumper, the video he just, or the webpage link that he just sent you is 188, which is the same thing as the post 4944.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the 1-8, and then the 4 and 4 is 8 again, right? So you the link he just linked you in chat to the second page, I believe, of what he's gonna do was where he's wrote that article. You've got 188 at the back of it, correct, Vincent?
Yeah, I'm looking at it here. All right, let me put this up on the screen here. Here you can see the number plate of the big boy engine, and it's X4014 is the number on that engine. But the number plate has an X on it, right? Which and then you got the 844 here engine. I just, what do you think? Interesting coincidence or what? Or is there anything that you
No, not a coincidence. Never. I'm just linking where I can 844 Gematria, which I'm going to have a look at, and 4014, excluding the X at this point. And then I'll let you know.
All right.
And so I'm just putting this in here now as well, just in case people want to follow. Right. So Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey. So that's a book that will come up along with lots of other books in Google Books, such as I can't remember offhand exactly, but they were the ones that were connected to the timestamps and the trip codes in particular of Q. So timestamps are important, but these trip codes, when they were put into Google, they come up with all of these books. And, you know, one of them was Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper. And I'm pretty sure another one was this one, Baron Trump's Marvelous Adventures, the Time Travel Adventures.
4014 comes out to Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey. Wow.
Yeah, that's the first one that comes up too.
Yeah.
That's the first one that comes up. And then we have Witches Are a Plague from Lilith, soon to be removed forever.
Wow.
They eat children to open the third eye to become possessed and prey on humanity. There's some big stuff here. Parts of duality are starting to come out in the form of really strange occurrences. Yeah, no joke. I'm sick of giving my internal power to exterior parasites, and they are completely wicked and think that they are completely innocent. You guys cannot even see you are the evil. 2017 POTUS and FLOTUS Trump. So these are messages that they're sending. They're not like a coincidence. That's just the Jewish so far. So I can go down and keep going. But I want to go down to the English here and have a look at what they're saying. Now is the time to claim the life that should be rightfully yours. If that's not meaningful at this particular time, considering what's about to happen, then I don't know what is. You know, you damaged me beyond repair. You hurt me so deeply that I cannot go on. You know, this is the human race. Lost reptilians, first white albino reptilian, the code of Hammurabi. There's so much unnecessary suffering because of the love of money. Again, extraterrestrials and UFOs use both man-made and natural stargates. I'm talking about stargates all the time. This is how they're getting around. They didn't make that entire Stargates movie, the first series and the second series for nothing. Like, that is real. You need to realize what's going on in these mountains, in Mount Shasta and under the ground, like in the oceans, deep in the oceans, Stargate Atlantis. Have a look at what they're telling you.
Oh, yeah.
All of these things are being done for a reason. They don't just do it for nothing. They don't spend hundreds of millions of dollars making these programs for shits and gigs, pardon my French. They do it for a reason because they have to. They must let you know what they're doing because that's part of universal law. That's part of God's law, and they know throughout all of the satanic stuff that they do, they have to let people know. That's why you have all the predictive programming. That's why you have all the stuff in The Simpsons. Anyway, I'll let you guys talk now.
Oh, that's quite all right. Well, you know, I don't know if Paul's probably said something to you, but you know, this show, Hyperdrive, our normal show time is 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Pacific Coast time. But no matter what time zone you're in, except for, you know, our Saturday night show, because it's the early edition, it always starts at the 17th hour of the broadcast day for Patriot Soapbox because of when we reset the stream every morning. So this show always starts at the top of the 17th hour, which I've thought for a long time was kind of interesting. And then I'm sitting here looking at these decodes.
Perfect. And not deliberate, obviously. That's just how it worked out.
It did work out that way, but it's like, well, you know, and then these, you know, when you typed in these numbers, 844, you know, you get Search Zodiacs, Mitt Romney, Sirius, Black Sun, Death and Destruction, Vines, I Have a Dream, Unicorn Unit, you know, all these different words. Chief Joseph, End of the Mayan Calendar, Unbirthday, Holy is the Lord, Matt Getz, Duality in God, Chappaqua, New York, interesting. Consequence,
Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. Is Hillary in there as well somewhere in that list?
And this is the thing, when you take the time, and you need a lot of coffee to do this and a lot of patience, and you go through and you take out all of the things, because this isn't witchcraft or palantiring or, it helps if you have the Holy Spirit with you, but you go through and you put all of the outcomes, the results in order that you think. So you extract all the ones that you think are relevant, and then you put them together in order in the way that you think. And they tell a narrative, and this is beautiful art, Gematria art, and it's very accurate as well. And when you go through a lot of the DKs that I've done in the past, I didn't even know half of the things why I was putting them down. I just knew that they meant something. And now future has proven past, and they are correct. And I didn't know what I was doing at the time. I just knew that this was right.
Well, it's very interesting. The codes that came up, what came up when you put in 4014, which is the number on the big boy engine there. And it starts out, and I'm sharing this with everybody in the audience, it starts out with Baron Trump's marvelous underground journey in the Jewish Gematria. And then down here, witches are a plague from Lilith, soon to be removed forever. That comes under 4014. Go find someone else in letting you go. I'm loving myself. You got a problem, 4014. They eat children to open the third eye, to become possessed and prey on humanity. That's 4014. Termination, expiration, cancellation, human race. That comes up 4014. Wow. Just so I'm just going to go back and go, somehow that video, when I made it, I was trolling the deep state with it big time. If they're reading the Gematria from that video, there's got to be some major troll.
And they are reading the Gematria. And it says in there, like, if you read enough of this, and I mean hundreds of thousands of entries, then you realize that someone's put this information in there, and often because they have no other way to give you this information. They might just be snippets. And one thing I've gathered is that not only do the FBI use Gematria, but Barack Obama, he's a huge Gematria fan. He's on this site all the time. Definitely. Like, if you can believe, like, just a certain amount of information that you pick up over time and the weight of that, and after a while you start to think to yourself, this is where this Gematria really makes sense, and it teaches you so much. If something doesn't make sense, you've never heard of it, look it up on DuckDuckGo. Please don't use Google, for the love of God. Look it up and educate yourself, and you will become so much smarter just by reading all of this stuff that otherwise doesn't make any sense. It's like a hobby. Once you sort of get into it, then the new neural pathways in your brain have been formed. And that's what that pain is that you experience when you first start doing this. And it's actual pain in your brain because new neural pathways are being formed in your brain, and you need to change completely how you think, because that's what this is. And then you'll start thinking in a fifth dimensional way, well beyond 40,000 light years, looking at things upside down, back to front, mirrored, inside out, the symbols themselves, how they spin in space, all of it. And then you'll start to gain this greater perception of the conceptual that I mentioned on 2 occasions now before this. That's what I think. It's a language. It's a language. The elite learn it. They learn it from birth. They know it back to front, and they understand it completely. It's all based in Kabbalah and all these other Babylonian and Sumerian, Phoenician civilizations that have been beforehand. And, more recently, the Egyptians, the Illuminati know this. They want to control all of this because they know that understanding of these things at the most deep levels helps you to express yourself in the physical world and online, and that helps you to spell everything. Spelling is, of course, almost like spell casting. When you say things, your words have meaning. When the President of the United States says something publicly or tweets it, it really, really has meaning. Even if he doesn't necessarily mean that it's supposed to have meaning, it does. He's got at least 50 people in his communications team, and they know exactly what they're doing. He's not uttering or typing a word unless it's already checked and he knows what he's doing. POTUS has a lot of help.
Did someone say Phoenician?
I did.
Yeah, well, here she is. thanks to a good patriot out there, Gemstone, sent me this. If you look at this lady, you'll see that she's holding a vase or a vessel, and the vessel forms the shape of a V or a triangle. The hole on top is like a doorway to the center of the top of her head, which is the soft spot. The soft spot is where your chakra comes out. And if you look, she's got swastikas. Like we call her the swastika lady, right? She's got swastikas on her dress, and those form the letters Y, upside down and right side up, which, interesting enough, there was 8 Ys. And if you look on her dress further, you'll see there's 8 there's 2 circles in between the swastikas. You'll see there's, if you count the dots, there's 8 dots. So there's 1 in the middle and 7 around. That's the 1, 7, and the 1, 7 again, which is 8 and 8. And then if you go up to the vessel again, you'll see she's got 8 circles on the vessel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And 88
and
is Trump.
So we've got 8, 8, 8. And she represents the female birth canal. If you look into where her arms are stretched to the pot. And the Y is the symbol of male. This is also in reference to sort of fertility, male and female, like Thumper would say, Omega and Alpha. I wish Thumper would have left this on a little farther zoomed out, because I actually took the screenshot and it says 3 of 3. And when he zooms out, you'll see it. And then it says 3-2. And we talked about 3-2 the other night. And then down at the bottom, it says figure. And then when he zooms out, you'll see the last 2 numbers are 3-0. It's, you got anything on those for me, Vector?
3-2 is a very significant number. They don't use it for nothing. It's the point where pi expresses itself in the Fibonacci sequence. And when we go through that article that we started discussing last week that I just put in the chat, then that's going to be explained a lot more. It's hard to listen to these discussions without having the audience going through that very, very complex base foundation knowledge in the first place, because it's hard to explain why 32 is important and why it relates to pi, and why this relates to the symbol of the Jewish people, the 7 candles and the menorah and all sorts of other things like that. So when I looked at this, and I said to Paul, I said, look, there's 3 on the front, up the top on the vase, and 3 on the bottom. So there's like 35. POTUS is always talking about F35. 35 is obviously like super important. Well, I'll leave that for now. There's also the V, but it's a vase. And Trump, so many times I've done a couple of decades on a beautiful vase. What's with this vase, and connections with Kim Jong.
Oh, wait, can you zoom that out? Thumper, can you go back to the picture of her and zoom it out so I can actually show people what happened with the numbers?
Yeah, so go on, Paul. That was the thing I noticed. I noticed those things, and then there's also false swastikas, and there's all those Ys there. If you think there's 2 Ys that make up each one of those swastikas, which is what Paul said. But continue on, please, Paul.
But wait a second. If you go up to the top, Thumper, this is where it gets really wild. You'll see it. I took that, and it was image 3 of 3. That's from me. That's my iPad taking the photo of 3 of 3, and then it says yesterday at 3:20. And then you go down and the figure 2, and at the very bottom it says after Casanola 30. All the numbers are matching, even from what I've done to what this is saying. You're with me, right, Vector, on that?
Yeah. Yes.
It's like a confirmation. It's like saying, hey, look, we're confirming this. This is confirmed. That's how him and I both read this. But the next photo, this all ties into like 3 photos and a video. So there's the next photo I sent you, Thumper, on Discord.
Yeah, just a second here. Let me open it. A screenshot from our last show.
Yes. So you see the Y, Thumper?
Mm-hmm.
In the cube, you see the Y.
Yes.
Okay, now that's also the pyramid, correct? Can you see the angle of the pyramid? Mm-hmm. Okay, now that I did screenshot from our last show. Now go to the next picture after that. I'm just trying to show you how the Y from the dress is an important thing, which is the symbol of the male and the symbol of the Trinity. Okay, now this is a video from this video that Vector sent me. And what do you see in the middle there, Thumper?
Well, it's the Mandalay Bay, but it is in the shape of a Y.
Yeah, like the Trinity, correct?
You also have the pyramid.
And back to the pyramid with the line in front, and then what's in front of the line? Can you see that? That is the obelisk, right?
Oh yeah, here.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So they've got the obelisk in front of the line. The line is tamed by the pyramid, which he's holding him down. The pyramid's holding him down or has captured him. The lion refers to the tribe of Judah. The Trinity is what they're saying is a captured symbol. And then you have what event happened here? A massacre, supposedly.
Mm-hmm. Symbolism. It was a satanic ritual. Yes, I know that it was an assassination attempt on the Saudi royal prince, and Trump saved him. But and a lot of people got killed. But if you think about the country music festival, Route 66, if that's not like you straight away, you got to think to yourself. And I'll explain that later. But if you continue, Paul. But yeah.
And he shot from the 32nd floor, which is 1 degree below the 33-degree masonry, correct? And we're back to 3-2.
And who owns the top floor and the floor where the shootings happened? Who owns those top floors? Of course, the Saudi royal family own those floors.
And if you watch the video, I put a timestamp there. If you watch the video, you can see he kind of like, look at his face. He's kind of in a trance, and he's kind of like casting a spell over the whole thing. It's really weird when he does it. But this video was all on the release of was it the Saudi king, and how he was released, and he did some of Trump's work for him. Is that correct, Victor?
I believe that
this
Prince
was the
Al-Walid, the guy had big stakes in Citibank and Twitter, and he got emptied upside down for $6 billion US. And the new Saudi prince is, I don't think he's the king necessarily, I'm not sure, MBS. So he's in with Trump, and he's basically there doing the sword dance with Trump. And funnily enough, if you really look into deeply and you understand what the Saudi sword dance is, like Trump's holding the sword. That's supposed to be the king that owns the sword. That means he's gone there. They've fully capitulated to Trump, and that's them showing that their capitulation on camera in front of everybody. And then they did a scene from The Simpsons from many years before where they put their hands on the globe, and they needed to tie up the Saudi and, the royal family and secure that part of it, because that was the beginning. They were funding a lot of these people in the United States, and they had to cut that part of the triangle, which is one of the 3. Of course, Soros replacing the Rockefeller family in that triangle, and that's leaving, the Rothschilds and the Vatican. So these are the 3 parts of the triangle, and this is a big massacre. So obviously the royal family's gone, the Saudi royal family, they've gone to do some kind of negotiations with Trump or whatever. There's also supposed to be some gun deal gone wrong with this particular guy who's some kind of CIA patsy, obviously, just like any other false flag.
He was a total
lots of helicopters. Pardon?
Yeah, he was a total setup. When you look at it, he was supposedly a runner for the CIA, pilot, and all this other stuff. Spent a lot of time there at the Mandalay Bay, supposedly. The idea that he was using AR-15s with bump stocks on them to commit some kind of a mass casualty event was absolutely ludicrous. It was
laughable. And it's them bringing up bump stocks so that they can ban them. So it's the slippery slope of totalitarian tiptoe to banning the guns, because that's what they want. This is what they thought that they were going to do to get everybody to give up their guns.
As a matter of fact, I've been covering that on my morning shows because when they came out with the bump stocks, I'm a big gun guy, right? So when they came out with the bump stocks, everybody was going, "Oh my gosh, you mean the BATF?" The ATF allowed these bump stocks to be legal, and everybody was going, "Oh wow, that's incredible! Are you sure that these are legal?" And a lot of the gun shops wouldn't carry them because they thought that they were going to be made illegal. But no, the manufacturer went to the ATF and inquired, very stringently, "Are you sure that you're okay with these? Because if you are, we are going to put a notice in the boxes saying the ATF has approved these as a lawful, legal addition that you can add to your rifle and everything else." Okay. And that was the case. Then you had this Mandalay Bay situation come along, and all of a sudden these bump stocks were vilified, right? Now, what's happening right now is the ATF is coming back on another gun called the Honey Badger, and the Honey Badger is a short. It's a short-barreled. Actually, it's a pistol because it does not have a stock on it. But what it does have, it has a wrist brace. All right. The ATF originally said, "Okay, yeah, we're good with that. That's fine. It can be sold as a AR-styled pistol." Because it's not a rifle because it does not have a stock on it. Now, here just recently, they changed their mind on that, and they came back and they said, "No, the Honey Badger is a short-barreled rifle." And as a short-barreled rifle under U.S. law that is under the Firearms Act of came out in the 1930s, 1938, 1939, or something like that. Where the Firearms Act declared a whole bunch of different rifles and machine guns and things like that as special items that you have to pay a $200 tax stamp. Now, if you think about it, in the 1930s, a $200 tax fee on these weapons that were identified in the National Firearms Act, that was a lot of money, and the whole intent was to supposedly keep undesirables from obtaining these firearms. Also, there has to be a registered chain of custody of whoever is responsible for that particular firearm. And short-barreled rifles, certain other types of rifles and things like that all fall under this National Firearms Act. And now, with their reclassification of this Honey Badger pistol as a short-barreled rifle, if they classify it as a short-barreled rifle, then it falls under the National Firearms Act. And what's actually happening out of this is the full circle on this is Trump is signed an executive order here just not too long ago, saying that we have all of these ABC agencies out here that have all kinds of people that we can't get rid of. And really, what I believe he's setting the stage up for is getting rid of all of these non-constitutionally designated agencies like the ATF and the EPA and the departments that are pushing national health care and all this other stuff, because it's none of it is specified in the Constitution. And so what he's setting up is to start paring away these extraneous organizations that have been created as part of the bureaucracy in our government. And this whole controversy over the honey badger now is hypocritical when compared what they did with the bump stock. And when you start comparing the two, it's okay for the bump stocks because they were going to use this or arrange to use or whatever this Mandalay Bay situation in order to start hunkering down or clamping down on our firearms. And a lot of gun people were very, very upset when Trump was considering that whole situation. And and he basically came out and he says, well, I'm not really excited about these bump stocks. It seems like kind of thing, but we'll see, we'll wait, and he didn't really take any real action on it, other than the fact that they had a temporary stay on the sale of bump stocks, but they haven't necessarily made them illegal for those people that currently own them.
No, he trolled them at the time, and he invited all the Democrats in after things happened to sit down with him and saying, oh, yeah, you want to do something? And Dianne Feinstein, she was practically falling over herself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was just like, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, and everyone on votes going, oh, Trump, he's betraying us in the Second Amendment. I said, calm down, rubber dub. But nothing's going to happen. He's playing them like a fiddle. Relax. Second Amendment say.
Exactly. That's what I've been saying all along. He,
optics.
Don't worry. It's he plays certain types of optics with these people. He gets them to think that he's going to be he's negotiable on these items, and they come in and they lay out their, thinking like they've always done. They've always been able to go in and lay out their plan and force it down the throat of the president or whoever it is that they need to. And in this case. And I can't believe that these people buy off on it every freaking time.
So, Thumper, do you see where they're using this as a way to desecrate Christian symbols?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now,
they did when they built the whole complex, Paul. When they built that whole complex we're looking at on the screen, that is a ritual. The whole thing, why Yahshua? But then you've got the three angles. So you got 33.3, 33.3, and 33.3 over, three angles. And you got the 4 points in the bottom of the pyramid with the top being 5. That's a 5. And then you go beside it, you got 2 more objects with the 3 and the 3, which ends up being, a 3-5 surrounded by 3 2s and your 3s. If you look at this enough, I'll show you 666 through that whole thing. I'll have to put it on paper. But another thing I was going to say, that obelisk, they don't do that for a reason. It's in Washington. It's in the middle of a vesica Pisces, so the male phallic penis, the penis of the.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you flip up the other photos, Thumper,
the 13th piece of Osiris that was lost in Egypt, that with the golden penis, they had to replace with a golden penis. This is their symbolism. This is their religion. Once you start understanding their religion and what they do, and it's not just Egyptian religion, then you need to start looking much, much more deeply. And the Freemasons know all this shit. They do. They are some seriously bad people. That's all I'm going to say about that. Sorry to interrupt you, Paul.
No, it's all right. I just wanted him to pull up the last 2 photos so they can see something really mysterious about that night that we found today, that we found in what Danusha sent me with the video. So you'll see the Mandalay Bay, right? Mm-hmm. And then you can see the Lexor over there on the right. You see it's kind of lit up with a triangle. Mm-hmm. What's between those, Thumper?
Yeah.
What's that?
Okay. That building, as far as I know, it's there.
No, it's not there. I actually have a witness who worked across the street, and he told me no, that's not there. And I just looked it up on satellite. The very last photo, which we'll pull up, shows that it's not there. How is that building?
Can I ask a question? Is that black bit in the middle of the two? Looks like two buildings. Is that the same building? And you were just looking at the front of it? You know what I mean?
If you run this through on video, you'll see it and you'll be like, well, it runs clearly through a cell phone video, and that object is there on the video the whole time. And you're like, well, how is that possible? If it doesn't exist, how is it there? Which is the next three that we're missing in the symbology.
The other thing on the right there, that light you see going up at the point there, that's on the top of the pyramid. That is the pyramid.
Yes.
That is going up. That is I don't know if that's on all the time. I don't live in Las Vegas. I don't know, but I'd say that it would be. But like that's part of the Egyptian symbolism for going to the stars after death. That's why the pyramids of Giza have all those chambers, and they all point towards Orion and his belt.
You want to freak out? Look at the numbers on my screenshot. 901, 31st. 93%, 319.
So this is 4 years ago?
Yes.
4th anniversary today. So a lot of people should be talking about this now.
Yeah, 4 years ago.
Now, go to the next picture. We've got this on video. You could actually play this and see how it is. But to go to the next picture, we'll show you guys some more symbology that's pretty freaky.
Okay, just a moment here.
Oh, so the next one is of like a bullhorns on a sign. It looks like a staircase. It's from when people are running from that same video we were just screenshotting from.
Okay, and so everybody gets a really good view of this. Hang on, let me adjust the share screen on this.
This is the same camera that took that shot. Has to be.
Yeah, it is. It's both of them are from the same camera. So what I believe is that they used some sort of magic to make a building appear that isn't there.
All right, everyone.
Yeah, don't play that the first part. Yeah. Oh, there's the stairs. That's probably good right there. It's a right pass. Yeah, right there. That's 50 something.
Okay, there we go.
But you can see that that building's there the whole time, right? And there's the staircase to the left. You see a building that looks like a staircase. You can just see the lights on it on the far left. And that has a red devil horns on it. And I don't know what the other two symbols are. If someone could research that, it'd be great. I'm trying to find out what they are. But you can clearly see that that second building is there the whole time. And so what I believe is that they mirrored it to project that building there when it wasn't, but people would have seen it like a magician would have done with making the Statue of Liberty disappear. And if you look at the Lexor from space, it looks like a great big mirror. So maybe they somehow projected an image off of the Lexor to make it look like that building was there when it wasn't. But I don't think anybody noticed it until you play the video. You know, I think I noticed it. I don't know if anyone else has seen this, but I don't think the video is faked. I actually think it was an illusion that they created to enhance the psychological warfare game that they're operating at this particular event.
Thing is, that is not a mirrored image of the of the Mandalay Bay, though. The reflection of the top floors is different. As a matter of fact, the portion that points towards the original Mandalay Bay appears to be not quite the same height as the section running perpendicular to it.
It's weird, isn't it, Thumper?
Yeah, it's very off.
It's not there. The building isn't there. It doesn't exist. So why is it in a video?
That's interesting.
Keep playing it, and you'll see the other symbolism that we found.
Okay, and then one of the things that he's pointing out in this is that you can hear the crack of the shots being fired, and I'm really amazed that a AR-15, a 223 round would make that much noise with all the concert noise and everything else going on. I'm really very surprised at the how clear the rifle shots are. Anyway, going ahead here.
Yeah, you see that building that they scrolled back and forth twice to?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a staircase, and Vector says that that's a Mason symbol, and that if you look on it, it's got like someone holding devil horns up with their hand.
I'm gonna turn on the volume here so we can hear.
Right there, stop.
Oh yeah, right there.
Yeah, right there. See it?
Yeah.
And that's a staircase to hell.
Interesting.
What would they paint that there? Honestly,
I want to know what the other two symbols are below it. There's two paintings below it. There's you can't see it because of the bright light.
that's not choppers. At this point, I hear the choppers.
No, that is automatic weapons.
Maybe before this coming in, and then during coming up, but that's not choppers.
No,
that's gunfire. Has to be.
That's automatic weapons fire. All right.
I mean, I'm no expert, but I'm not stupid.
I'm an expert. Those are gunshots.
Automatic fire. Pay attention. The helicopter comes in towards the rear of the festival, banks, turns, and then fades away. Listen again. And he says, listen again. But I say that is automatic weapons fire.
So the only thing with the last photo that I got there for you is that it basically shows that on satellite, that building does not exist there.
These poor people.
So, Vector, you wrote a whole bunch of stuff that the numbers come out on this, about that earlier?
Yes, I could post it in the chat, I suppose.
That chat, those chat numbers and stuff that you did, you decoded it while we were discussing it, remember?
I just wrote this off the cuff. Hang on.
Now, the noise, the thumping noise that you hear is the helicopter coming in. That's totally different from what we heard before. Here, that's not weapons fire.
Correct. That's right. So that's the chopper coming in. So, but you know what that says to me, Thumper? That says they're firing on those people from those helicopter positions, not just from the hotel. And that gives credence to the people that are saying there's multiple gunshots from multiple angles. There were multiple shooters.
Now you are aware that McCarran Airfield, which is just immediately adjacent to this whole scene, is are you aware of what was happening on McCarran Field that's at that same time?
No.
Oh gosh, this is a whole nother piece of the story. Okay. Have you ever heard of Janet Airlines?
No. No. Sorry.
Okay. Janet Airlines is an airline that is the airline that operates out of McCarran Field. If you don't know about this is this is a whole nother rabbit hole for you. This is gonna knock your socks off, because Janet Airlines is immediately. Remember, they were talking about they were shooting at the fuel tanks on the other side of the festival.
Yes.
Okay.
I think I heard something about that.
Okay, those fuel tanks are right there at McCarran Field, which is the airport there in Vegas, right? Well, at McCarran Field is Janet Airlines. Janet Airlines is just on the other side of those tanks, those fuel tanks, on that side of the field. I'm going to pull up Google Earth here. I want to show you some pictures, and somewhere buried on my computer.
I got that. There's that one picture. There's the last one in Discord. Is the picture with airports and everything on it? You'll see it. The last one on Discord.
Yeah.
It shows that the building's not there. It shows the Raiders Stadium, which is being built across the way, and then there's airports. You can see the airplanes sitting on the tarmac.
Not quite. I'll open it up here. Okay.
Oh, I didn't take it big enough, did I?
You didn't.
But there's fuel tanks there on the right, behind the parking lot.
These are the fuel tanks that you're talking about right here. All right. And this was where the festival was, right here. All right. However, over here, and you'll be interested to get a little more information on this particular parking lot right here. Just a second. Let me get Google Earth up here, and I'll show you some things, because let me finish. Janet Airline is the airline that carries all of the workers out to Area 51 and all of the high security facilities in the Southwest deserts there in Nevada and whatever else. Janet Airlines, that's their only job, is to fly workers to and from McCarran Airfield out to the Area 51, Area S3, Groom Lake, blah 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 blah. All right, and so what you're saying though, that was Trump there that night? Vector?
I know that.
Yeah.
Okay, because from what I've heard,
It's
no confirmation, but they did ask it in a Q post. Where was I think it was where was Air Force One, or where was something on this particular night? Now, there is a video out there, and it is what we call our plane fags gathered this thing up from
them well, yes.
The runway and the airport control tower and all the stuff that was going on there at McCarran Field. And there's audio from the tower saying that there are shooters on the runway, and the runway that runs north-south on McCarran Field is just on the other side to the right of where Paul took this picture.
Yeah.
All right. And that runway was closed down, and they were rerouting all flights over to the other runway, which runs east-west on the south end of the airport there. All right. And they showed, they were showing helicopters, but they were showing helicopters. They actually, let's see, they were showing helicopters. The transponders of certain items didn't fit what was going on. Okay, like a helicopter would be transponding as an airplane, and an airplane would be